right, we'll go ahead and get things kicked off today. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining today's webinar. My name is Marley Long, and I'll go ahead and get things started. Today, we will be addressing SaaS analytics for SharePoint and Office 365. I also have Sapir Adler here with me, our Cardiolog SaaS product manager, who's going to walk you through our SaaS new release of SaaS on Power BI. Hello, everyone. All right. Just a bit of housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded. I saw that some of you were asking about that earlier. So if you want to share this with a colleague in the next few days, we'll go ahead and send an email to everyone who signed up with the recording as well. We are available on Twitter, so if you want to ask any questions on Twitter, you can tweet us with the handle of @Cardiolog. And again, if you have any questions, we'll try to leave some time towards the end of the webinar, and you can send your questions through the questions box within the GoToWebinar panel. In regards for today's agenda, we'll start out with just a very short introduction. We'll talk about Intlock, a little bit about Intlock and who we are. Then we'll jump into a presentation with the benefits of using SAS analytics on Power BI. And we'll jump into a demo to show you how you can measure SharePoint adoption, collaboration, portal performance, usability, and migration using Power BI on SAS on Power BI. And at the end, again, just feel free to send your questions in at any time. Just a brief introduction, Intlock has been around now for about 11 years, since 2005, and we're based out of Boston. And over these past 11 years, we've been focused on one thing and one thing only, which is web analytics designed for SharePoint and Office 365. Our flagship solution is Cardiolog Analytics, and it's built for internal platforms, including all versions of SharePoint from 07 to 2016, as well as SharePoint Online and Office 365. And we can also track third-party tools like Yammer, Citrion, CRM tools, and the like. And our solution is available both on-prem and, like you will see here, as a SaaS-based version on Power BI. Our goal is to help our customers constantly improve SharePoint based on how it's being used. So we talk about three main pillars that we discuss with our customers. So the first is to monitor, which is tracking usage within SharePoint. The second is engaging these users, asking them what their needs are, what their pain points are, and what's not working for them. And then finally, the most important pillar is to enhance. So we want to make sure that we're constantly improving SharePoint based on these three pillars. And the idea is to have these actionable metrics which allow us to constantly make SharePoint better for our users. Okay, so now we'll just kind of jump right in. So why do we even need analytics when talking about SharePoint? So the key here is that you can only manage what you can measure. So only can we know what's going on in SharePoint, define if a launch was successful, measure if people are using it and adoption is increasing, is by being able to measure what's going on. And that's really the end goal that we help our customers with. So how can we deploy, measure the deployment, analyze it, and then help make improvements on their environments based on what's going on with real data. And again, making an investment in an intranet or migration includes a large amount of resources. So by leveraging analytics, you can really find out whether your portal is performing as expected and if it's really truly providing that value to your organization. And just wanted to speak briefly before we get started on the presentation of Cardiolog SaaS on Power BI, just a bit of background about the Power BI integration. So Power BI is an analytics visualization engine that was developed by Microsoft. So Power BI really provides a really comfortable user interface so that you can visually explore your data through a sort of free-form drag and drop canvas. And it offers a broad range of modern data visualizations and an easy-to-use report authoring experience. And the reason we decided to integrate with Power BI is because we really want to make this process as easy as possible so that you can really analyze your portal in the most efficient way when selecting a SaaS solution. So now I'll go ahead and hand it off to Sapir, who's going to walk you through an overview of our SaaS solution and followed by a demo.
Thank you, Marley. So again, I just want to say to everyone, thank you for joining today. So yeah, as Marley said, let's start with a quick overview of the SaaS solution. So what we see in this slide are the four main levels when we talk about our solution. The one that you see on the left is the data source. These are all the main sources that Cryo Analytics SaaS can track. We have both SharePoint and Yammer here. And Cryo Analytics SaaS combines both tracking of users' behavior, what they do in their browser, using JavaScript code, which allows us to track a lot of information like which pages do they view, how much time they spend on each page, what do they search for, and really a lot of information. But we also combine that with information that we retrieve from SharePoint APIs and also from Yammer APIs. And that allows us to really add more depth to report and a lot more information to them with things like the portal content, the structure of it, getting the users and the groups, and also the profile attributes, and really a lot more information that allows you to both segment and filter your reports, and also, and we will see that soon, it gives a lot more information that you can't just get if you're only tracking users' behavior. So that would be the data capturing level. Once the data is captured, we have a mechanism that processes the data and takes that raw data, combines it together, and makes it into analytics that can be used in reports. And finally, we have the data visualization level, which is what Marley mentioned, Power BI. And Power BI is a really powerful visualization agent provided by Microsoft. And together with it, it allows us to display all the data that we capture and process in a very attractive way and in a way that allows you to do really a lot with it and get really great insights from it. So before we jump into looking at some of the reports that we offer, for those of you who are not yet familiar with Power BI, let me just go over some quick terms. So first, in Power BI, we have something that's called a visual. And the visual is a representation of data such as a chart, a graph, a map, and many others. And Power BI really has all sort of different and impressive visualization types. We will see that soon. We also have reports in Power BI, which is a collection of visualizations that appear together on one or more pages. And finally, we have dashboards, which is a collection of visualizations that can be pinned from one or more reports. And it's often a selected group of visuals that provide quick insights into the data or the story that you're trying to present. It's very useful to use reports if you have a set of visualizations that you keep coming back to and you just want to be able to get quick information from, and also if you want to share it with others. Okay, so now I'll just go ahead and present my screen, and we can take a look at Power BI. Okay, great. So as we discussed, we have the dashboards section here and the report section here. These are the two main sections that you will be working with when using Power BI. And specifically, Cryo Analytics SaaS it ships with a set of pre-made reports and dashboards that we've put together in a way that we think would be most beneficial for our users. At the moment, there are over 20 pages in the report, and we constantly add more. Um, so when we designed the reports, we had a few things in mind. So first, when providing data to our users, of course, this is the main purpose, just to provide the data, but we wanted to take it to the next level. And instead of just saying, hey, here are your pages and here are your number of visitors, you're good to go out there and make decisions, we also wanted to help our users know what can they learn from the data we give them, and more specifically, we wanted reports to be built in a way that already helps users know how they should measure their business and portal goals. And for that, having an experience of 11 years in measuring SharePoint was really helpful in this case. But we've also spent a lot of time with our customers trying to learn what do they care about and what do they define as a portal success. And together we came up with 5 portal goals, which we learned organizations using SharePoint care most about. The first one is SharePoint adoption, whether or not users are actually using SharePoint. The second one is visitor engagement. So once users are already in the portal, how engaged are they with the portal content, features, and activities? Collaboration, are users making the most out of SharePoint collaboration capabilities? Portal usability, what's the user experience like and how easy is it for users to use the portal? Optimization of the portal resources, and also supporting a migration process, which really allows organizations to save money on resources by learning what can they get rid of and where should they spend more resources. So we'll touch briefly on most of these goals today, but as you can already see, the way the reports are structured is based on these goals. But one of the things that is most amazing with Power BI is that if you don't feel the way that we structure the report is right for your organization, or if your organization has unique goals which we haven't covered with our out-of-the-box reports, it's amazingly easy for anyone to take any piece of information that we've gathered and create your own reports basically any way you like. And we'll go over this next. How can you create your own reports? Okay, so this is one guideline we had in mind. The second one was that each and every metric that we include in reports has to serve for one of these purposes. Either it acts as a performance indicator, meaning that it lets you know where you're standing as opposed to a certain achievement that helps you fulfill a goal, or that it's an actionable metric, which means that it gives you a clear output of issues you should address or help you make a decision. And we'll show examples to these two kinds of metrics shortly. And the last guideline that we had in mind when designing these reports is that a great report is one that tells a story. And a report that lays down all the pieces of the puzzle to give you a full picture of what you're trying to measure. So all of the reports that we've designed, they were designed very carefully so that no two metrics are on the same page by coincidence. They're all meant to interact with each other and give you richer insights from your data. So these were the 3 guidelines we had in mind, and I think they can be useful in general while building any sort of reports, not only reports for SharePoint. Okay, so now that we've covered the basic, let's dive in and look at a few reports. The first one, which you can already see, is from the visitor adoption category. And this specific report is meant to give you an overview of your visitor adoption. So there are a few things that we can see here in this report. So first is the active user rate chart. And this chart shows you how many users are active in SharePoint out of the total registered SharePoint users and the trend over time. So, for example, if you look at April, where we had the lowest result, we can actually click on that and see how that interacts with the rest of the widgets in this report. And we can see that only 33% of the users were active. We can see how many users became active that month in the new users rate. And so these three metrics show you roughly what the usage percentage and the rate of usage out of your user base. But knowing that isn't really enough. It's also about what do these users do once they're already in SharePoint. So, for example, think about a case where you would see that 95% of the users are active, which is amazing adoption, right? But what if I told you that more than 60% of these users only visit SharePoint once a week, and that once they're there, they only spend about a minute just looking at the homepage and leaving. So that's obviously not that great, and this is why we added these additional metrics to this report too. So one more metric that can be useful here is a single page visit rate, which is what I just mentioned, users that only go and look at the homepage and leave. So we can see that in this case we had 6% of the visits ending after one page. We can see the bounce rate, which is how many visits ended within a minute. And what's great is that we can also see the trend over time, so we can learn if anything changed. So specifically, if you see a certain pattern or spikes, that could be a red flag that you can look into with additional reports. So we also have in this dashboard this chart, which shows you how many times does an average user go into SharePoint in a week. And we can also see here how much time they spend in an average visit. We can see that here. And how many pages do they see in an average visit. So combining all of these pieces together should give you a clear view of your adoption, but this is again only an overview. To see more information about each one of these metrics and to further investigate them, there are additional reports that drill down and give you more information to each of these overview metrics. So for example, if we take the active users rate metrics, which are this one and that one, it's great to know the overall number of active and inactive users, but we would also want to know who are these users and what can we do about it. So in this case, we could look at the inactive users report, which we have right here. Okay, so this report shows you the percentage of inactive users in each department, which is what you can see here. And you can also drill down and see who are these users exactly in each department. So if you're wondering how Cardiog can associate these users with the right departments, so if we go back to what I've explained before about the way that Cardiog can pull information from SharePoint, one of the things that we pull is attributes from the SharePoint profiles, and you can really easily select which attributes you would like to include in your reports. And this is a really great capability because it allows you to segment every report based on your own organizational data, even if you've added your own custom attributes to the user profiles. So in this case, we can see that the IT department had the largest number of inactive users. So what we can do is click on that and see how it interacts with the rest of the widgets here. So we can see that 16 of the users in this department were inactive. We can see that what their behavior is usually like, the ones that are active. We can see that they usually only view 5 pages in a visit, that they spend 41 minutes, and I'm sorry, that they see 4 pages in a visit, and that they normally visit 5 times in a period. And what we see here is the actual names of the users within this department. So we can see that the top user in this department was this one, and we can look down and see who are the least active users in this department. And if I actually click on that, I can see the reports filtered by that specific user. So I can see this data right here, and I can also see this nice information about this user, including their profile photo. If you have that in SharePoint, this is also something that we can pull. Right now, since this is a demo, we of course don't have real photos, so what you see here is Tom, which is our guy. So you can see the name of the user, and you can see all the information that can be available in the user profile, like their office, department, job title, and basically everything there. And you can also see a very specific report of their activity. So with this user, for example, we can see that they were active on this month, but not in April. And we can even drill down even more and see what were they doing in each month. So if I go to May, and I can see the exact days of activity, I can drill down even more to a specific day. I can see the activity hours, and I can even drill down to a certain hour, and I can see the exact pages that were viewed and what was the duration, how much time the visitors spent on each one of these pages. Okay, and let me just show you how easy it is um, to just switch to a different attribute, because right now this report is showing you information by department. But if you would like to see that by any other category that you have in your organization, you can just edit the report and just change that to anything else, any other visitor attribute. Okay, and if you remembered when I talked before about actionable metrics, so this is a great example, because with this report you can see exactly who are the inactive users and really take action with this information that you see here. You might want to invite them for more training, or maybe even contact them with a survey to really get first-hand insights to why they're not using SharePoint. Okay, so if we go back again to the visitor adoption overview, another example to how we can drill down from this overview and get more information is if we look at the new visitors rate. So if you want to get more information about who are these users and where are they coming from, we can go to the new visitors page. And here we can see how many new users are coming from each office. Again, you can easily change that to any other attributes that you have available in your portal. And I can click on each one of these offices, and I can see the data specifically for them, what was the new visitors trend, exactly how many new users came from that department, and I can also see the trend of new versus returning visitors from that office. And of course, I can also drill down and see who are the users within that office that are new. And this is again an actual metric, because you might want to contact these users and maybe offer them training, or just see how they're doing and if they have everything they need to get started with SharePoint. Okay, so moving on to the next category, which is visitor engagement. So we have a lot of metrics that you can use. You can see what is the trending content in your portal, because you might want to add more of that. And as opposed to it, you can see what's not getting that much popularity. And this really gives you the feedback to what users are interested in, so you can add more content that will engage them. And with the visitor engagement metrics that we have, you can also see what's the normal behavior in a visit. How much time do people spend on pages? How much time do they use search in their visit? What external links do they click on? And much more. Since we don't have a lot of time, I will just go briefly on a few metrics that we have here. So first, let's look at the common navigation page. Okay, so this report shows you where do visitors usually go from every page. And I can click on the pages here, and I can see from each page exactly where the visitors go to. And if you see a bigger arrow, that means that this sort of navigation is more common than others, like we can see here. And this is really a nice way to represent this information, but it's only one way. With Power BI, there are so many other ways that you can use in order to represent this information. And there's really a lot more information that you can use. So instead of just saying where did users go to next, you can also see where did they come from. And you can also see a few steps after each page, not only the first next step. Okay, so last thing I will show in the visitor engagement category is the exit pages. So this report shows you which pages users often leave the portal from. And what we see here are the top pages that visitors left the portal from and how many times they did that. And this report shows you it really gives you a better understanding of which pages might be less engaging and more prone to visitor leaving. And this is, again, actionable metrics that can help you take action with these certain pages and try to check why visitors leave the portal from them. So right now, you can see we're looking at data for March. And in this month, you can see that these were the top pages where visitors left the portal from. And if I click on them, I can again see all the other metrics on the page change. I can see that with this specific page, the exit rate was 29%, meaning that 29% of the time that people viewed this page, they actually left the portal. We can see that they usually spent around 7 minutes viewing this page, and we can also see the trend over time. So how many times it was viewed and what was the number of exits over time. And if we see that, if we see that there was a significant change, then we can check what happened on the date. Maybe some content changed, or maybe there's actually some kind of technical issue with this page that is affecting users, and they can't really use this page as they want to. And what we can see here with this chart is actually the number of exits per portal section. So if we scroll up, you can see that the portal section where people left the portal most from is the InLock team site. And as you saw, I can drill down and see where exactly this is coming from. We can see that in list specifically, there's a bigger number of exits. And I can also click on that on the InLock site, and I can see the exit pages specifically from that portion of the portal. I can do that with anything here, and I can also drill down and see this information again. Okay, so the next category that we're going to talk about is usability. And usability is one of the things that have a crucial and direct connection to visitor adoption and engagement in the portal. If users run into issues, if they can't find what they're looking for, if pages take too much time to load, they're definitely less likely to continue to use the portal. And this is what this category helps you measure and track. The first one we're going to look at is search. Okay, so with this report you can see what people are looking for in the portal and whether or not they can find it. So if we take April, for example, we can see that the most searched term was benefits. And if I click on that, I can see specific information for that search term. I can see that it was searched 103 times. I can see that 89 users searched for it. They usually got 100 results. And they usually clicked on the about 11th result. But the interesting thing here is that only 11% of the searches actually ended up in the visitor clicking on a search result, which is not that good. We can also see here the trend of this search term. We can see if maybe this is something that has gained popularity recently. Maybe this is something that users are only now starting to show interest in. And we can also see what was the trend of the failed searches. Maybe we changed some content and now things are missing. If we see an increase in the number of failed searches. And we can also see the trend for the search result position. And usually if we see something like 11, that usually is not that good because it means that users have to try to navigate and try to find their search result with a bunch of other results. We would usually want to see that in one of the first search results. Okay, and this is again an actionable metric that allows you to see what users care about, and with that you can add more content that will match what they need. Or if this content is already available but hidden in too many search results, maybe you want to put more links to this content in some of the main pages. Okay, next we're going to talk about portal responsiveness, which is also something very important when we talk about usability. It's important to know how well the portal is responding, how fast can a user get the content they want. And this is important not only in order to encourage adoption, but also to make sure users are using their time in the portal productively and not just waiting for pages to load. So this report allows you to see if users had any issues loading pages. We capture this information using our JavaScript code, and everything that you see here is based on real page views. So you can even see if you want in a particular visit which pages were viewed and how much time it took to load each one of these pages. And again, because this information is tracked using JavaScript and with real time, you see real results and not just numbers that can be calculated in a different way, but actually what users have experienced. So this graph here at the top gives you an overview of the loading time. If you see any spikes here, you might want to drill down and look into that. The way you do it is just by highlighting that part of this timeline here, and that would automatically filter the rest of the widgets in this page. So you can see the specific information for that time range, and you can also just move it like that, and that would reflect in the other visualizations. And what we have here is a map that shows you the load time for geographic location. We can see that in this case, US is marked in red because it took longer for pages to load in that area as opposed to other places in Europe. If you want, we can drill down and see if we had these issues in specific places in the US. Okay, so that actually allows us to see a map by state, and again, it's color-coded by the loading time. And we can also even drill down to the city level of every state, which can be really useful. And if we click on each one of these geographic locations, this again filters the rest of the visualizations in the report, so we can see specific information for that geographic location. Okay, and one more useful thing in this report is that you can see if maybe there are any issues with the loading page when users are using mobile, or if they're using a certain browser that takes longer to load. In this case, for example, it looks pretty much even, so we don't see any specific issues around that. Okay, so this gives you, again, some sort of overview on the portal responsiveness. But if you want to drill down and see if maybe there's an issue with specific pages, you can go to the slow pages report. And here we can see the pages that took the longer to load in the portal. And again, we can see that by date range, and if we click on each one of them, we can see these metric change, and we can see more information for each one of these pages. And again, this allows you to take action and see why these pages are taking longer to load. Another useful thing in the usability category is the visitor technology. So this allows you to see what sort of devices, operating system, and browsers your visitors are using in order to make sure that your portal is compatible with what users are using. And again, I can click on each one of the things here, and I can see how they interact with the other metrics in this report. Okay, next we're going to talk about portal resources. So a very useful page in this category is the Unused Content report. So this report is meant to help you get rid of things that are not being viewed, and specifically the ones that can save you space in your portal. So we can see information for the entire tracking period or for a specific month. For this one, let's look specifically on February. And we can see here in this chart that most of the size in the portal is taken by documents. And we can see that most of the size is coming from the Intlock team site. Okay, and again, I can click on each one of these and I can see how they affect the other metrics in this report. And the main thing here in this page is this widget that you can see here. And this shows you the number of page views versus the size. And of course, the items we want to take action are the ones that are in this part of the chart, the ones that are not being viewed and are big and taking a lot of space. So if we look at this one, for example, if we click on that, we can see more information about that specific item. We can see its title, when was the last time it was viewed, who's the owner, so you can contact them and just tell them to do something about that item. We can see when was it created, what's the size, and we can also see what's the trend of pages for that item. Okay, and I can see this report for basically every part of the portal. Just by clicking on that, that changes the report, and I can see information specific to that section of the portal. Okay, and a really cool thing about this report, this specific visualization, is that you can actually see a presentation of how the data here changed over time. Okay, so we've looked at a few pages in this report that that come out of the box with Cargo Analytics SAS. And I've mentioned before how easy it is to create a new report. So let me just quickly show you how you can do that. Sorry, just let me just open that on my other window. Okay, sorry, I just had to log in with a different account because that one didn't have permissions to edit the report. So with this one, I can click on Edit Report, and I can simply click on this button here to add another page to the report. And from these fields here, I can choose whatever I want to create the visualization that I want. In this case, I'm going to select from the visitors menu username. So that already gives you the list of usernames, and you can decide what you want to see along with these usernames. So for example, let's say that I want to see page views. Okay, so in this case, we can see the number of visits, for example, for each user, and I can really easily change that to any sort of visualization that I want. So if I want to change that to a chart, for example, I can just click on any of these charts here, and I can see that as a chart. But let's say that I do want to go back and show that as a table. I can just Control C, Control V, and get a copy of this chart, and I can turn that back into a table, and I can add more information. So, for example, maybe if we want to see when was the first view of this user and when was their last visiting the portal, we can just do that, and we can easily order this table by last page view, and this how we can see and really get an output of the users who haven't been active. Okay, so I've mentioned dashboards previously, so let's get a quick look of dashboards and how you can use them. So the way you would use dashboards is when you view a report and there's a certain visualization that you like and you want to see more or share it with others, you can just click on this icon here, and you can choose which dashboards you want to add this visualization to. Just click on Pin. Right now I'm just going to click on Cancel, and I'm going to show you the dashboard that we have. So this is a collection of the visualizations that you've already saw, but here they're grouped together in one dashboard that can really just give you quick insights without having to go into each one of the pages. And what's really great is that Power BI can connect to all sort of data sources. So if you have any other data sources in your organization other than the data that you're getting from Cargo Analytics SaaS, you can choose to pin visualizations from the Cargo reports along with visualizations from other data sources so you can see them in one dashboard. And one great example for that would be, for example, combining Cardiolog's load time report with some sort of network report that you might have available in Power BI. Another really great capability of Power BI is the ability to just ask questions in a native language and get answers in the shape of a report. So for example, I can ask what's the number of visitors last month. Okay, and I can already get this number, and I can do what's the number of visitors in April, or what's the number of visitors in May, or I can just do number of visitors by month. And that would already create a chart with the number of visitors per month. And I can choose to change that if I want. For example, if I want to see that as a line graph, I can just do that. And it's really easy. And you can, if you like this visualization, you can pin that into your dashboard. So this is really great capability provided by Power BI, which really allows you to get quick insights really fast. Without having to know the data set at all. You don't even have to go into reports. Another great capability is the insights that Power BI offers. So Power BI uses really advanced machine learning that allow it to learn your data and get insights for you. So for example, we can choose one of the dashboards here and click on Show Insights, and it will search for insights based on the data that we have, and it will give us some sort of ideas and some connections between the data that we as human beings might miss. But these are things that with machine learning Power BI can identify. There are really great things here, and sometimes it really finds really useful information. So this is, again, very powerful. So we're about to reach to our hour mark. So just to conclude, I'll just say that Power BI has a lot of really great features that allows you to share and collaborate on reports. You can export the reports to Excel and use Pivot. You can share the interactive reports and dashboards with others, and it works on any device, including phones and tablets. So this is really great because, of course, you can take your data anywhere with you. Okay, so just going back to the presentation, the last thing we're going to talk about is why SaaS. So today we're talking about Cryo Analytics SaaS, which is hosted in the cloud, specifically on Azure. And using analytics with software as a solution has a lot of great benefits. First, the setup is really quick. You don't need to set up any servers or basically anything. All you need to do in order to get started and tracking your environment is to go to the Office store and install the Cryo add-in. There's no infrastructure licenses or maintenance, which can help you lower costs. High availability, unlimited scaling options. We constantly update and enhance Cryo Analytics SaaS, and since it's hosted as a service that allows us to quickly give updates and constantly release more features. And of course, as I mentioned, you can connect to data anywhere.
All right, thanks, Sapir. Very powerful presentation. So at this time, we'll just take a few questions and provide some answers. So we'll just give you guys a quick minute to enter in any last minute questions that you have, and we'll try to get to as many as possible. But if not, we will be answering questions via email as well. So don't fret.
Okay, so one question that we have here is how can we combine information from SharePoint on-prem and SharePoint online? So with Cryo Analytics SaaS, you can monitor both your on-premise SharePoint and Office 365, and you can see information for all of your environments that you're tracking, including all of the SharePoint version that you're using and Yammer, all within the same data set and using the same reports. Okay, another question here is regarding the device report. Does it distinguish between PC and Mac? So the answer to that is yes. Another question is, do we have that solution also available as an on-premises solution? So the answer is also yes. What we showed you specifically today is the integration between Cryo Analytics SaaS with Power BI. We also have an on-premises solution that has a separate interface, but if you want to go with an on-premises solution that's also available, you can just send us an email and we'll be happy to provide more details about that. Okay, another question here is there a report to show unused site collections? So the answer is yes. You can see unused site collections either by seeing the site collections that didn't have any pages recently, or the ones that haven't been modified. So another question here is whether the map can show information based on the user profile attributes and not based on IP address. So the answer is yes. If you have that information available in your profile attributes, you can definitely use that to show information on the map widget.
All right. It looks like we've still got a few more questions, but we're running short on time. So we did receive all your questions, and we will be answering all of them via email in the next few days. So just be on the lookout for that. And thanks, everyone, for joining. And thanks, Sapir, for her powerful presentation. And again, we will have the recording available in the next few days. We will be sending it out in a follow-up email. It will also be available on our website at www.intlock.com/media. And feel free to reach out to us at info@intlock.com if you have any more questions, or if you weren't able to enter them into the panel during this session. So thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Thank you.